So this is the local buckling. As you can see here, at some level, the element has come out fluctually. For example, this is the channel section taken at this particular location. The element has undergone fluctual deformation. Uh, Web element has undergone fluctual deformation, and this flange element has undergone fluctual deformation. So independently, all the elements will undergo fluctual deformation. Either it can go in the outward direction or inward direction. How we are considering, where we are considering the section. If I consider the section here, the flanges have come out, whereas the web has moved in. At this location, the flanges have come down, whereas web has moved out. Okay, this is called as local buckling, in which the inter-element nodes or retain in its position. Only the elements will undergo fluctual deformation. This is called as local buckling. Whereas distortional buckling, in this case, the flange and the rear flange, whatever we have, it will undergo rigid body rotation with respect to flange web junction. This is the flange and web junction. About this point, it will undergo rigid body rotation. Either it can undergo rigid body rotation outward, or inward. This is said to be symmetric distortional buckling, because with respect to the horizontal axis, it is moving in the outward direction or inward direction. And to maintain the compatibility, the web deflection, either it will be in the inward direction or outward direction. To maintain here 90° at the connection, that deflection will be decided. Then in the fluxural torsional mode, about the symmetry axis, it got displaced and it got rotated about the twisting. It got twisted about shear center axis. So this is a typical local, distortional, and global modes. Now, as I mentioned, the global modes are rigid body modes. For example, I consider a lipped channel section. So this is about the major axis. It is displacement about major principal axis. This is a displacement about minor principal axis. This is twisting about the shear center axis. This point is the shear center. With respect to that, it is twisted. Now, what is fluxural torsional buckling? In the case of fluxural torsional buckling, it's a combination of displacement about the symmetry axis together with twisting about shear center axis. Therefore, these two are combined here to give fluxural torsional deformation. Okay, now LTB, lateral torsional buckling, means of course these three modes are independent modes. When it is coupled, we will get the coupled modes. In the lateral torsional buckling, what will happen? It is undergoing the displacement fluxural deformation about the symmetry axis and twisting about the shear center axis. Why the fluxural torsional buckling and lateral torsional buckling are looking similar means, whatever the M critical equation we have developed for the sections, no, that is the loading planes should have the symmetry plane. For example, I apply a load for a bisymmetry section. If I apply the load at this way, then it will be having a symmetry plane. If I consider a monosymmetric I section, that means the flanges are of a different dimension. Then here also the loading is applied at loading is in the symmetry plane. So in that way, if I consider the lipped channel section, here it is going to get the symmetry plane. This is the symmetry plane. So in that case, the lateral deflection is about the symmetry axis plus twisting about the shear center axis. That's why it is looking alike. Okay, this is even true for T section if you consider. In the case of T section, the fluxural torsional buckling is going to be fluxural buckling about the symmetry axis. That means about this axis it will get displaced. Then it is coupled with the twisting about shear center axis. Whereas in the case of lateral torsional buckling of T section, again the loading plane should be the symmetric plane. With respect to the symmetry plane, it should get laterally displaced. That means a symmetric fluxural buckling about symmetric axis together with twisting about shear center axis. So for these sections, it's going to be looking alike. Okay, whereas for this section, it is going to be a little different. Okay, so this is all about different buckling modes. Whereas the distortional and local modes, here the local modes, as I mentioned, clearly we can say that the 90-degree connection location is maintained here. The 90-degree is maintained. For example, if I draw a slope line for this and this, it should maintain that 90-degree orientation. And the nodes are retained. There is no displacement. Only fluctual deformation of elements are witnessed. Whereas here, with respect to the flange web junction, the flange and web will flange and the rear flange, sorry, flange and lip will undergo rigid body rotation. This is outward, and this one is inward, and this is anti-symmetric distortional mode. Anyway, these are all more relevant to the cold form steel sections. We can ignore it. Just for completeness, I have